at Fleetwood, and we've got a great production facility, a phenomenal team. We got world-class production activities, commitment to quality, commitment to excellence, commitment to customer experience.
We appreciate our coach that much more, just seeing how it was built, getting to meet some of the people that actually built it and like put their hands on it is pretty awesome. We're currently at the Rev Group manufacturing facility in Decatur, Indiana, and this is where our RV was actually made, and it's also home of where Fleetwood RVs, Holiday Rambler motorhomes, and also American Coach motorhomes are made. We are going to go inside and give you guys a full factory tour to see how these awesome RVs are made. We're going to talk to some of the people that work here, and we'll give you all the inside scoop, and Kris is totally going to nerd out.
I'm so excited.
He can't wait to get into all the details to see the ins and outs of how RVs are made.
That's right.
All right, so come on, let's go inside and we're going to go take a tour. So this is the main administrative building for Rev Group here. The factory and all the facilities are also around here. They also have some more buildings around the area here in Decatur, Indiana. So it's truly a huge facility, but you can see here the sign for the offices. So we're going to go inside and we're going to meet with some of the people from the team, get the full scoop, just show you guys all the different components of making an RV.
If they let us in.
If they let us in. Taylor, let us in. Thank you. Taylor was gracious enough to actually let us in the door. We are here today with Taylor Horman, who is the National Sales Manager for American Coach. He is actually the one that sold us on our coach that we bought at the Tampa RV show. He talked us into it.
No, it was a beautiful coach back then and still looks great today. No, and I was so excited to meet you guys about, what, a year and a half ago now? And no, it's been a great ride.
It has been a lot of fun. Taylor has given us the PPE, the personal protective equipment that we need. So we've got safety glasses, steel toe boot covers, which are going to make me look like I'm a clown walking in me.
They're fun to walk in.
So if you see me walking funny, that's why. And then we've also got earplugs. We'll put these on and then we're going to get started with the
ready to go.
There we go. Okay, clown shoes engaged. Now we've got the safety glasses. Look good.
Look pretty good.
And earplugs. Well, let's get to the tour. I'm excited.
Right, yeah, let's go.
We are now inside the factory of where the RVs are made. And like I mentioned earlier, we're here with Taylor. So he's going to take us through kind of the process of how RVs are made. So what are we going to see here today?
So we're going to start in chassis. So it is a bare chassis with our Liberty or Freedom or Titan bridge. And we're going to take it through a wall set, construction, do the whole horseshoe, hit paint building, and end up here in the final finish. So we're going to see a little bit of the whole production process today.
Awesome. And we did a quick walkthrough the other day, and I think it was just really cool to see the behind the scenes of how these are made and the different components and the different processes, because all we ever see is the finished product and the finished motorhome, but there's so much that goes into these. And what's really amazing here is just when you get to see the quality and the craftsmanship, and a lot of the people here have been here for a very long time, and they're very prideful and dedicated about their jobs and being able to produce these high quality motorhomes.
Yeah, and that's something we focus on. And each cell that we see today, we build in quality in each cell. We're not building an RV and then expecting quality at the end. Every production step, we built quality in the process, have checks and balances in the system, so we're building a good coach for the end consumer. You know, you see a finished product, you finished RV, it looks beautiful, but it's hard to really appreciate the beauty and quality that goes until you get to the factory.
Totally. And I think what's really unique about these is it's like building a house, but you also have to build a house that's basically earthquake proof to be able to go through, you know, a lot of stress and such. It's pretty amazing to see how these things are made. And we definitely feel like our RV is very high quality. And that's one of the reasons why we bought our American Coach, and we really love it. All right, well, let's get to it.
I've been around Fleetwood my whole life. My father worked here for 35 years and he was in upper management. So on a Saturday, if he needed to do some work, he'd come in here and I'd like just roam around here in the dark and like check things out. I've always had like an appreciation for RVs and the RV lifestyle, but it's so different coming in here and seeing how they look today. So right now we are in the chassis area, a little differently from other RV manufacturers. Most motorized RV manufacturers two-channel chassis from one of the two big manufacturers, Freightliner or Spartan. What we do differently with the Fleetwood family, Fleetwood Diesel, so American Coach, Fleetwood Holiday Rambler, we utilize either the XCM or SL modular chassis.
Okay.
So this is a Freightliner chassis right here. What you don't see in the middle is any C-channel connecting them, right?
Yeah, there's a big gap.
Yeah. So how it's delivered is with this little beam right in the middle.
Okay.
The transport beam connects them in the middle. The team in Decatur takes that out, stretches them out, makes sure everything is up to spec. And then what you see them working on over there right now is a bridge. So we have our Liberty bridge for American Coach, Freedom bridge for Fleetwood, and then a Titan bridge for Holiday Rambler.
What's the benefit of doing it that way? Like, what's the benefit of the Liberty Bridge?
So the key thing is those two I-beams running the length of the floor. So you got two 8-inch I-beams that run the front to the back of the bridge instead of C-channel. Most coaches, you got two C-channels. On a Fleetwood Family diesel, you have two I-beams. So it's kind of like two C-channels back to back. It's going to have actually 40% less chassis twist.
Oh, okay.
So that ride and drive is going to be a lot more stable, a lot more sturdy. Your coach isn't going to be swaying just because of what we do from the bridging process.
Yeah, and we find that with our coach, like we can leave stuff out on the counter when we're driving and it stays pretty smooth during travel.
And most of it goes back to that bridge. It's the reason why you see bridges and other things go with I-beams, because they're a lot more sturdy and stable.
And I think in a minute here, we're actually going to see them put this on top of here.
That is true. Yeah, very shortly you'll see them hoist that up and they're going to drop this on top and then huck bolt it all together.
Awesome.
So we'll see that process. Most manufacturers take that C-channel rail from the chassis manufacturer, weld pieces of metal to create their foundation or their bridge, their floor. What we do differently is that bridge, and then it drops right in here and gets all huck bolted together. It's kind of cool is this chassis is made in Gaffney, South Carolina. Those bridges are made up in Elkhart by Morride. Those have to come together and all these huck bolt spots within 1/1000th of an inch. It's premier exclusive engineering that goes into that partnership between Fleetwood, Holiday, Rambler, American Coach, Morride, and Freightliner to give that great experience for that ride and drive.
I'm excited to see this come together.
You'll see them set that bridge down on top of the axles, lining it up correctly so all of those areas where the huck bolt connects the bridge with the chassis together are perfectly aligned.
Yeah, that's pretty cool seeing it go on like that.
And what you can see running down the length of that bridge is those two big 8-inch I-beams I spoke to earlier. That's what really gives you that sturdy ride and drive. You know, you're not feeling the tail end of your coach sweep around because of how sturdy that foundation is.
And so this is really the foundation process of this soon-to-be house on wheels.
Yeah.
This we have flooring going here in the coaches, which is really interesting to see how the flooring goes in before all the sides and everything. But tell us about what's different here that you guys do.
Yeah, for us, all of our Fleetwood diesels, so Fleetwood, Holiday, Rambler, American Coach, are all hand-laid porcelain tile. And one thing that we do differently is we leave a plywood footprint like you see here for anywhere where we're going to connect the cabinetry. So the last thing you want to do is tile the whole floor and put cabinets on top of it, because this is going to make for a squeaky ride and drive.
Right.
So we always leave that plywood subfloor or footprint so we can attach cabinets to that.
And I've noticed in our coach, like in our first Super C, we had cracked tiles all over the place. But in our American Coach, we haven't had a single cracked tile. So.
Yep, that goes back to that bridging process.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a stronger foundation, it's going to be a stronger coach for the longevity of the coach and equate to less cracked tiles and just a better ride and drive.
Yeah, and it's nice to see those high quality materials going into these.
Yeah. For us, our construction is a little different than other manufacturers. All our construction for our diesel coaches is what we call the power lock system. We have a long piece of extruded aluminum running the length of the floor. So you got a female piece. On the next cell, we're going to see a sidewall set. So on the bottom of that sidewall is the male piece that comes down and connects it together. It's a true connection, and then we throw big bolts in it. Versus a hung wall system, that is industry standard, where you take your floor, drop your sidewall down, and then screw that together.
And so what does that give you?
At the end of the day, all your weight is on your roof, on your sidewall, so it gives you a sturdier box. So again, it goes back to that built-in quality into the product. It's something that is exclusive to us, that we pride ourselves on building the coach better from the ground up.
Yeah. So now we're in the roofing section.
Correct, yep. And just as we saw with our wall to floor junction, had that power lock system, it connected in place. We have the same thing for our roof. So we have an angled area here on that steel roof, or the aluminum roof line, that connects with the roof. So it gives you that sturdy, strong connection at the roof. As well as on our high-end diesels, we have a one-piece molded fiberglass roof.
Yeah.
So we are not taking a piece of fiberglass, bending it over the edges and screw it into place. That radius is actually built in, molded in. Okay. So it's again, just a better, more quality-driven product.
Does that help prevent potential leaks and things like that in the roof?
Yes, it does. If you look at older diesels, you might see some spider cracks along the roof line because fiberglass has a muscle memory. If you take a flat piece and try to bend it, it always wants to go flat again. So that's why you sometimes see on a pre-owned coach those spider cracks at the top of the roof roof line.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's just one seamless piece.
Correct,
like that.
yes.
Very
Yep.
cool. We're inside a coach that's currently in development, and one of the big components of building a motorhome is doing all the electrical components. There's a lot of complex systems in these.
Yes, there is tons of wires running throughout this coach. Wires, hoses, everything you see. We use all multiplex wiring, which makes it a lot easier for the components to work and the end user to actually use them as well. But as you see over there, you see a lot of stuff that has labels and coding already on them. When the team in this cell is looking at all the specs and drawings, they know exactly how many feet of wiring they need to run to the next outlet and stuff like that.
Very nicely organized, and yeah, I mean, it has to go to so many different places in the coach. It's like building a car plus a house plus all the functions that have to work together, and you got all these different systems and things, so it's a lot.
And luckily we have a great team here that follows those drawings and does a great job of what they do.
And then this over here, this looks like a conventional Class C RV.
That is correct. Yeah, it's a little different than all the other Class A motorized you see in this building. Yes. So right now we are building a conventional C under the Fleetwood and Holiday Rambler umbrella, as well as at Tampa this year we unveiled our Class B van. And we're also now in the Sprinter C market on our Mercedes-Benz chassis. That Fleetwood and Holiday Rambler names have resonated with, tens of thousands of folks over the years. We just want to give them the opportunity to, downgrade if they want, downsize if they want into something smaller, or another avenue for those new B and C class buyers to get into the Fleetwood and Holiday Rambler product as well.
I mean, we love our 45-foot Class A, especially if we're living in it full time. But for people that really want to travel and go do things like national parks and go kind of off the beaten path, it's really hard to do that in such a big motorhome. So these are a great option to have something smaller that you can travel in. It's a lot more versatile and flexible.
Correct. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, and right now we're walking through our cab shop. So a lot of what we do, the base frame, the woodwork within the coach, is done in-house right here.
Wow.
I mean, you see different components and all of the different parts on these shelves. And then if we're looking up here, we're looking to the side, you actually see some of those frames and the cabinetry built out a little bit more. Yeah, a lot of that is done in-house, but we actually have some different CNCs at another part of the building that does a lot of those cutouts as well.
Yeah, I think what really amazed me about this when we first walked through, it's like being in a Home Depot or something. Like, this is just huge. The amount of inventory and materials that you guys have and the fact that you do all this in-house is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to see these coaches come together, and it always brings a smile on my face.
Yeah.
So we have a huge building about the length of 4 football fields, 14 downdraft paint booths. It is a huge facility. And what you see right here is after the coach gets built out to the main production facility, comes into the paint building, and then it's time to get prepped for paint. So you see on this coach, the windows taped off, luggage bays inside taped off, and then we'll walk up to the next cell in the process, and then we'll see the graphics get put on, which is always a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, it's really weird seeing these in this state because they look so strange to me, like not being painted, being the prime.
Yeah, you don't have all those 4-color paint that are all shiny metallic flashing in your face. Yes,
exactly.
Yes. First step in the paint process is to paint the base coat. So this base coat is white, and then what you see on top of that is the paint mask that creates those awesome exterior graphics. So this is laid out, taped out by hand. The team does a heck of a job connecting all these lines with the blue tape here and there that they have to do by hand. And it's just a tremendous amount of work and attention to detail. Really that quality driven product that you see here that will ultimately get 3 more colors of paint on top of this.
Wow.
And you still have a very clean paint line with those 5 coats of clear.
I mean, I just think the paint jobs here are phenomenal. And knowing that this is all done by hand, I mean, that's really amazing. The craftsmanship there and the quality of being able to do that is pretty amazing.
The team out here is tremendous what they do. It's always amazing to see those coaches painted, but it's extra cool to see it in the process.
Right. Totally. Yes. I love that. And so here they're doing sanding.
Correct. Another key process in the paint process is to, sand down those paint lines to get that nice, clean finish before it goes into the clear booth. So yeah, right now they're sanding the coach, making sure that look and feel is exactly what we desire and just taking care of all those paint lines.
So the next step after it goes through all of this, then it goes to clear coat.
Correct,
and it'll be finished.
Yep.
So we are here in front of something really exciting. This is the first exclusive sneak peek, exclusive to Fuel Your Wonder, of the brand new redesigned 2025 American Eagle. So our American Dream is a 2023.
Yes.
But you guys have done some design changes and some improvements to the outside. So this is pretty exciting to see the brand new model that is in production in paint. So it's not ready to view the inside yet, but we'll be showing that soon.
Correct.
So tell us about some of the major improvements.
We have a complete bridge redesign, which was huge for us. That's something our consumers have been telling us about for years. We really try to be innovative on our own, but listen to the voice of the customer. And one big thing for us was storage. So we completely redesigned the bridge. Every bay you see that will have a little sneak peek in one bay today and more to come in the future, but every bay you see was kind of just thrown out the door. We really focused on camping, storage in every bay, where can we consolidate components to really maximize what we do. So we're going to see a sneak peek of the battery electrical bay today. We might see a little more on the Dream Pilot we see online.
Okay.
But
We saw some of these bays earlier in the week, and they're huge. Like,
Yes.
we thought our bays were big, but these have gotten even bigger. So
Yeah.
this is pretty cool.
It's pretty impressive, and it's just 15% more storage than we had on a model year 24 product, which is huge, because if we know anything, RVers love their stuff, right?
Yeah.
You have all your stuff, it has its place, it has to stay.
Yeah, and one of the reasons we actually bought an American Coach was that the storage bays were a lot bigger than some of the competitive models. This being even bigger than that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're just trying to build on what we already do well. So let's do a little sneak peek of this battery bay. In model year 24, this bay would have been just the electrical bay, battery surge guard, battery control center, and we had another bay that took up the complete storage area for your batteries. So now what we did is this little enclosure hides the batteries.
Nice.
And then there's actually a hinge down area here, which we'll see a little bit more in the future, that exposes all the electrical components.
And in our current Dream, the batteries are in the back and they take up a whole bin, so you
Yeah.
can't store anything
Correct,
in
yes.
it. This really opens this up a lot.
100%,
to have
yeah.
way more space. That's really cool. I know this paint job isn't done yet, but I love the matte finish, but this will have a bunch more like clear coats going on in it.
Yes,
It's going to have all those protective finishes. Just wait and see what this one's going to look like.
Yep, so this coach is just getting ready to go in the clear booth. What we do for all American Coach products, we do 3 coats of clear, we sand it, 2 more coats of clear, and sand and buff. So at the end of the day, all American Coach product has 5 coats of clear.
Wow.
Really gives you that nice paint job. You don't feel those paint lines at all.
Yeah, I noticed that about ours. We don't feel any of the paint lines from the different designs
Correct,
and such, so it's
yeah.
a really nice smooth finish. All right, well, we're excited to see this one get finished.
Yeah, so one of the final steps in the paint process is to get this coat cleared up and looking prime for the paint job. So this coach has all the clear coats on it. What it doesn't have is that final cut and buff. So that is the next step in this process for the coach after the clear coat.
Okay, looks so shiny. I just want to touch it.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah.
I won't touch it. The size and scope of this place really is just pretty incredible. Like, I honestly had no idea the depth and amount of things that are done here. Once you see it, like, of course, there's so many components to building a motorhome, but until you actually see all the different pieces, it just helps bring it all to life and makes you appreciate the RV market even more.
I mean, it's one of those things, it's hard to believe it until you see it, and then once you do, it's like, wow. It makes you appreciate the RV you own even more than you do today.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it makes me appreciate our coach that much more, just seeing how it was built, getting to meet some of the people that actually built it and like put their hands on it is pretty awesome. Thank you so much for the tour today, Taylor.
Yes, it's always a pleasure seeing you guys, and I'm glad you made the trip to Decatur.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you at some of the upcoming RV shows.
Yes, of course. Look forward to it.
So now that we've done a full factory tour and seen how the RVs are made, we're here in the design center and we're going to get to see a bit of how the design comes together for all of these amazing coaches. And we are here with Doug Miller today, who is the Fleetwood Family brand manager. And Doug has been here for quite some time now, over 20 years.
Yes, a little bit over 20 years. I know I probably don't look like it, but it's been 20 years and seen a lot of stuff over 20 years too.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun stuff come and going, products here and there, but there are some staples that stick around in the industry. Some things that have really, really strong names, such as the Bounder, Discovery, and our flagship, the American Coach, have been great performers for years. We really attribute that to understanding what the RV needs to be, not cutting corners, understand what it means to train your people so they can build a better product.
Yeah, it was really neat for us to be able to walk through the facility where our coach was made and get to actually see some of the people that build our coach and just see some of the quality that goes into that. How many coaches are actually produced here on an annual basis? I think we saw some sign that said 40,000 motorhomes have been made here.
Yeah, 40,000. That was since the acquisition back in 08, 09. So that was a great milestone. Our target is to, in today's market, to get anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 coaches. And we do 3 different brands. So we mentioned the Fleetwood family of brands. That's Holiday, Rambler, Fleetwood, and American Coach. Yep. And in those brands, we have multiple products. We have a full line offering of our Class A vehicles. We also just recently branched out into the Class C space with the conventional Class C, a B van, so Mercedes B van, and then the Sprinter C. So we have multiple offerings in those products as well.
Yeah, and I think what's great is that within the Fleetwood family, you can target a lot of different types of customers. You know, people like us who are living and traveling in our RV full time. Then you've also can target families and different groups of people that are looking to live a different type of RV lifestyle. And then with the new Class Cs coming out, I think those are really great because Class A's are awesome, but you can't take them everywhere and they're not quite as flexible. Being able to really travel and go anywhere in those brands and stay within the Fleetwood family, I think is a great
It's
approach.
huge, and allowing the consumers to take that lifestyle step. If they want to start out in a travel trailer or a fifth wheel and then get into a Class C, maybe make it into a Class A gas and eventually get where you're at with your American Coach. What a great transition through the entire RV cycle. And we offer anything from 27 feet to 45 feet. You guys are at the top of that at 45 feet. We go bigger, but we can't. But that 27 foot in the Class C, we also do in a conventional type, but we do down to 24 feet and shorter in the B's and the C space.
Most people who start RVing don't dive right into the biggest one that you can possibly get. Kris and I aren't really.
Right, yeah. You guys may have skipped a few steps in there, but that's all right.
We might have skipped a few things, but the 45 foot is awesome.
Yes.
So can't complain about that. Well, thank you for walking us through that. So now we'll go through some of the design center and talk a little bit about how you all design coaches and kind of what makes you all unique compared to other different brands and how you guys do things.
Okay, that's great because we offer 24 different brands.
Wow.
So anything from the little Sprinter C and the B vans all the way up to the American Coach. If you look at all the products in between, all the different floor plans, the makes and the models, it actually gets up to 24 different types. So to identify what we're going to target or who we're going to target or what we kind of want to make the customer feel when they walk inside the coach, we have to kind of lay that out before we get into the coach. Otherwise we get in there and the plant's already moving, they're already building, and we go, whoa, we can't do that. So we like to do that here. We're in the design center today. We have little sections set up all throughout the center here. They're called vignettes, that's what we call them, and they're samplings of what we offer. So we'll see different kinds of wood, we'll see different kinds of fabrics, some materials. We do the decor boards, which you can kind of see behind you.
Yeah, this is really cool. I love how you guys set these out. So these are for all the different models. So like this one says Armada Endeavor. This specific one would have these colors.
So that would be one of the 3 decors for that, and then each coach has 3 decors and typically 3 or 4 different wood choices you can mix and match with those. So that's where our design team, Andrea Smelser, Mindy Cox, come in. They're veterans in the industry. Mindy works remote, Andrea's here on site, but they do a very good job of getting the inspiration and the direction of who we want to target, what we want to do, and then they're able to compile fabrics and materials that we can start putting on boards and then seeing with their expertise what comes together, what looks best, and if we want to target a coastal with some blue accents, we can do that. As you can see, you'll see a little similarities in most of these, but there are differences in every one of them.
Yeah, so I think the design of these coaches is what's really unique. I mean, that's honestly what sold us on our American Coach. When we were at the Tampa show, we were not planning on buying a new motorhome. We had a motorhome and we were fine with it. And I walked inside an American Coach, the one we ended up buying, and I was like, I want this one.
Yeah.
The design was so much ahead of all the other manufacturers in this space. You guys do a really great job with it.
Well, thank you very much.
It's cool to see it come.
That is one of our focus. We like to be a little bit more modern. The RV space in large scope is very traditional, and we like to stretch outside the box just a little bit, but not go too far. So if we can play that middle ground, and we also consider inside this room to heavily rely on the fact that we use what we call a top step approach. When you walked up to the top step and you got to the landing inside the coach, if you looked at that and said, not really sure, you'd have walked out. And we've never had a chance to tell you about all the stuff that you learned out on the production floor with the vacuum bonding and all the solid surfaces and all the materials we use to put them together, because it wouldn't have appealed to you. That top step approach is super important. When you get there, we want it to be nice and warm and inviting, and then you can walk through and find out all the other great things about the floor plan.
Yeah, it definitely sold us initially, and then Taylor sold us on the rest of it.
Oh, very good. Yep. So we mentioned the vignettes earlier, and those are the small boxes you kind of see here. In here we've got a new wood that we were trying out. We wanted to make sure that we didn't go too dark, we didn't go too light. We're also playing around with some of the champagne bronze hardware.
I love those, very modern looking.
Yeah, they are. They're super modern. And what we found is when sending Mindy or Andrea out to the home shows, they go down and do shows in Orlando, they'll do shows in Vegas, things like that. They pick up on all what's trending in residential, trending in marine, trending in airspace, and trending in RV, and they'll bring that back into here so we can actually start looking at different things that we can start to incorporate for the future model year. Laying things out in here, such as the Cambria quartz countertops, getting those fabricated up from our fabricator to lay those on top of the base cabinet, put some backsplash in, start throwing some of the accent pillows and things like that in, helping with the floor tiles, so we can kind of create those spaces right inside these little rooms. See what it's going to look like.
And I vote yes on this cabinet color. I love this. I want this in our coach. I love that.
If you want to follow me around, we've got a few more to take a peek at. Up here to the right, all of our doors that we currently use in different profiles, some of our American Coach doors, some of our gas Class A doors, some of our diesel Class A doors, and then some new stuff that we're flirting around with different sheen levels and different profiles and things like that.
I love that you guys have a good variety of all that.
Yeah. Sorry the lights aren't on in here, but we'll do the repose gray cabinetry. Something we've done extensively over the past couple of years is to break up some of that monotony of just having the grayish white cabinet, is to put the glaze inside. Maybe accent that with a black handle. Sometimes our suppliers will send us in materials so we can start testing. This happens to be a new driver passenger seat for American Coach.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah. We wanted to go with a little bit more of a sleek automotive design. A lot of times we see in the RV space, they're so big and bulky, and that padding just wears out over time, so you start feeling like you're, rocking down the road, and something like this is much more
I like this a lot. It feels a little bit more like a driver's seat.
It's a lot of cool stuff there. Things we've done in the past. And I'll just touch on this guy. We had a 25th anniversary Discovery LXE, so we wanted to flirt around with a little bit of a signature series. We started with a new door profile, some of the polished black chrome handles and new tops and some backsplash. It's kind of been taken apart, but this is some of the remnants that have been left over. We also dig into ceiling treatments, so when we change the ceiling treatment that goes inside the coach, we can mock that up in here and see if it works and see what kind of light detail we can get from accenting, and then if it's going to provide enough light so when you turn your accent lights on in the coach at night, it's not overpowering, but it's also providing enough light to where you can get through and not be stumbling all over stuff.
That was, again, one of the things we really liked about our coach was the ceiling design. It was really nice, and it also really helps with like quieting things like the AC units, and that makes a big difference.
Yep. Something else you'll see is right behind you. Linear lights are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
And we're working with our suppliers on the lighting to where we can actually incorporate the lights into a feature.
Nice.
Instead of having a light hanging down or all these puck lights throughout the ceiling, if we can incorporate some of those accent lights, they're on when you want them. You get the benefit of the light, but they're not always staring at you in the face and blocking up the room. So a few more things over here, then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, this is just really cool to see because like you got all these little mini sections of an RV in here, and it's nice to see how the design all comes together in here.
And it's typically in 3 sections. So we'll focus this side. Will be our gas class A. That center aisle, which we just came out of, is our diesel. Then the aisle we started in is our high-end luxury American Coach. And they kind of keep those things separate so we can gather ideas and different concepts and colors based upon which direction we want to go for the next year.
And part of the difference I have to assume with the materials is that a Class A is a lot lighter. It's not quite as heavy, so you can't have quite as heavy of materials sometimes, so it's different.
Yep, on the Class C's especially as well. As Class C's, the gross vehicle weight ratings are a little bit lighter, so we have to use lighter components and lighter pieces. Stuff like in your American Coach, we've gone the extra mile and gone to the Cambria quartz countertops because your chassis is so big and so robust, and the way that that bridge comes together to make the whole entire piece together as one solid construction, we don't have to worry about that. And plus, I mean, you have the 605 and yours, carrying a little extra weight going down there is not a concern. But some of the smaller vehicles, like our little 28 Flares, those are on 16,000-pound gas chassis. We have to be a little bit more conservative as far as what we put in there.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around, Doug.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Great to see you.
It's
I
great
think
to have you guys.
people will be really interested to see this process. We're now in the administrative offices part of the facility. Now that we've done the full factory tour and we've gotten to see the design center and how some of those pieces come together, we are going to have a quick conversation with Wes Dunker, who is the head of sales and marketing for the Fleetwood family brands. Hopefully he's in his office. Wes?
Hey, Hillary, come on in.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, let's sit down and have a little chat.
Yeah, have a seat.
Wes he's one of the newer members of the team, and you've been here just under a year now.
Yeah, 7 months on the dot. I'm counting the days, yes.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your role here.
I'm in charge of sales and marketing for the Fleetwood family brands, Fleetwood, Holiday, Rambler, and American Coach. Taylor, who gave you the plant tour, he's part of my team. Doug and I work closely together. He's our brand manager.
If customers are out there looking for a new motorhome, they want to get into RVing, tell us a little bit about why they should be looking at one of the Fleetwood family brands, whether that be a Fleetwood or a Holiday, Rambler, American Coach.
Well, it's easy for me because what I would tell customers in terms of why they should buy our brands is the same reason I came to work at the company. You know, here at Fleetwood in Decatur, Indiana, we've got a great production facility, a phenomenal team. We got world-class production activities, unique processing for sidewalls and roofs, commitment to quality, commitment to excellence, commitment to customer experience. Those are things that really drew me to the company to come work here and be part of the team, wanting to take care of customers. And you know, you got the product attributes and features on one side, but also you're talking about someone's future home or vacation home. On the plant tour, you may have saw signs that said, "Be careful, you're about to enter your customer's future home." That's a mindset that we've had with all of our employees to try to get everyone focused on best quality, best construction, and want our product to live a long, healthy life with our customers. Right?
Yeah, and we've gotten a lot of questions from people that subscribe to our channel about would we recommend American Coach or Fleetwood, and the honest answer is yes. Like, we've been very happy with our American Coach. I know some people have seen that we've had a couple breakdowns and had some things happen, but that wasn't related to American Coach. That was a chassis issue, but which was resolved by you all so quickly. Like, you guys really helped step it up and help us get that fixed. But the quality of our coach we've been incredibly pleased with, and we've toured lots of different models.
Good.
And I think the design and quality is definitely top notch. And we've heard from a lot of other people that have gotten different types of models and they haven't been quite as happy. You know, it's one of those things, I think that's why we wanted to partner with you guys, because we definitely feel like since we purchased our motorhome, the quality is definitely there.
Certainly, yeah. It's 2 things. It's making sure we have the right quality when we're producing the product, and then when something does go wrong, how we handle those and react as quickly and effectively as possible. The last thing we want is our customers being sidelined on the side of the road. And we want them to be back on the road or in a park or wherever they're traveling with their family and friends, experiencing the RV lifestyle.
Yeah. Right? So if someone is interested in looking at one of the Fleetwood family brands, where should they go?
We've got a great website. You can start off there, but we also have a lot of dealer partners all over the country. Most of them stock a plethora of our product, from the entry-level gas products up through the product portfolio into the high-end diesel product, and then what you guys are in, the ultimate American Coach product.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you talking to us, and hopefully we'll get to see you again soon.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, thanks Wes.
See ya.
So we just completed the full factory tour, and we also got to talk to a couple of other different folks with Rev Group. Honestly, I think I was just blown away by the scale of everything, and the whole process was really cool to see.
Yeah, it was really cool to see everything and talk to all the people. Everybody was so helpful and friendly. It was great.
Yeah. All right, well, that's a wrap. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our latest videos. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.